Alright, so before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that I am sick right now, so if you do see me, a little bit less energetic, that's the reason why. But just like the video to help me feel a little bit better. One like equals one sickness better. What? But a few days ago, Misfits released a new, updated top 10 pound for pound YouTube boxes list, and to keep it real, it's actually atrocious, like holy sh. So we're gonna look at the new list and compare it with the old list, which was also absolutely atrocious. Like, why is Logan Paul at number 6? What? Hopefully this one's better. Spoiler alert, it's not. Let's go. But starting things off at number 1, they have KSI and Jake Paul. Misfits? That's not how numbers work. Number 1 means one person. You can't have two people there. You're breaking the law of physics.
Huh?
Right? Physics? Now the last Misfits top 10 ranking, which was released 2 months ago, they also had KSI and Jake Paul at number 1, but since then, KSI didn't fight anyone, whereas Jake Paul did this. Bro, imagine if the roles were switched, so KSI knocked out Andre August in the first round and Jake Paul did nothing since the last Misfits rankings. Like, they 100% would have put KSI first and Jake second.
Whoa.
Like, they're doing tricks on it, what the hell? So it's pretty obvious that Jake Paul should be number 1 on this list, but because KSI literally owns Misfits, they're not just gonna let that happen, so they just tied them up. Okay, but on a side note, just listen to my nose, look at this. Moving on to number 3 and 4, we have Dean the Great and Slim. Now a lot of people online were debating on who should actually be 3rd or 4th just because they both went up against the toughest competition and they're both undefeated, but I actually think this is how it should be just because I think Dean's the better boxer, like it's that simple. I mean, if we just compare them by looking at their last 2 fights, Dean literally had his left shoulder dislocated and still showed amazing speed, good head movement, big power, and good shot selection. And just to show how much IQ Dean has, at the start of this fight, Waleed threw a right straight hand followed by a left hook which caught Dean, making him stumble like a Fall Guys character. But then as the rounds went by and Waleed tried to throw the same combination again, Dean slipped the first punch and caught him with a nice counter. Now if we look at Slim's fight against Salt Poppy, I mean his defense and head movement is non-existent and his shot selection isn't too good either. I mean he's basically just throwing punches and hoping one lands. And you can see it again in this exchange. Slim throws a right hand but his left hand is by his side. So one left hook by Salt Poppy or even an uppercut and this man would have seen Michael Jackson. And if we compare this to their previous rankings, it's the exact same, which makes sense. Moving on to number 5, we got Anthony Taylor, which again makes sense. I mean he's on a 2-fight winning streak, beating Salt Poppy and King Kenny, and he's one spot below Slim, which also makes sense because Slim knocked down Salt Poppy whereas Anthony Taylor won on points. Now if we compare this to their previous list, it's once again the exact same. Bro, are they gonna change anything or keep it the same? What the fuck? But that was the top 5, which wasn't too bad except for putting KSI and Jake Paul at number 1. But now time for the bottom 5, and this is where we need to drug test the list makers because it's dumb as hell. Now just a disclaimer, Gib isn't included
What?
Gib isn't included in this list because Mans Taylor said he retired, but we all know if this man receives a bag, he's coming faster than me. What? Wait, wait. So starting things off at number 6, we got Jarvis. Huh? Don't get me wrong, Jarvis is a pretty good boxer, but what I don't get is how is he ahead of people like King Kenny? I mean, King Kenny literally went to the Kingpin finals when Jarvis didn't, and although he lost to Anthony Taylor, it was 99% hugging, so he didn't even get a chance to show off his skills, and the only thing Jarvis has done since the last list is beat B-Dave, who sucks ass. Like, he's so bad. And also, how is he ahead of Waleed Sharks? Like, yes, I know, relax, I know. He did lose to Dean the Great, but it's not like just because of that one loss, he's the worst boxer in the scene. Like, no. I personally think he's the second best boxer in the lightweight division. Looking at the previous list, Jarvis basically moved up 1 spot because they removed Gib from this new one. Anyways, going over to number 7, we have Tempo Arts.
Come on now, dawg.
beat a guy who's never fought before and quit in the first round even though he took no big damage, and then robbed Chase Demore from a win. Now I know Temple Arts has the heavyweight belt, which is probably why he's at number 7, but like, if we're being honest, he shouldn't even be in the top 15, maybe not even the top 20. Like, what is this? But comparing his ranking to the previous one, literally nothing changed. They just removed Gib and also took out Logan, which is one of the first right things they did. Going over to the number 8 spot, they got Louis...
Huh?
Bro, this man had to have done something to the list makers backstage, because at this point, what's going on? So you're telling me Pineda is pound for pound better than Waleed, better than King Kenny, better than Ashley Roxu, better than OJ Rose, and even better than Le'Veon Bell? Yeah, these guys are smoking crack. Pineda went from not even making the list 2 months ago to now being number 8, even though the only thing he did was beat Ed Matthews, who got tired in the first minute. Man, at this point, put Andy Worski on the list, who cares? But moving on to number 9, they finally got something sort of right. We have Ashley Roxu. Now the reason why this is somewhat right is because he 100% deserves to be on this list, but he shouldn't be number 9. Like, just looking at his fights in 2023, he beat King Kenny, which was a big W because everyone thought he was gonna lose. He beat Halal Ham, which was pretty much free, and also drew with OJ Rose, who's a really good fighter. Now comparing this to what Temple Arch did in 2023, who's 2 spots ahead of him, you could just see how dumb this is. Like, I know he has the belt, but come on, like, this doesn't make any sense. He at least moved up 1 spot from the previous rankings, but he basically didn't move at all because of Gib. And coming in at number 10, we have Alex Wasabi. Alright, bro. Like, if I'm being honest, Alex Wasabi would even be lucky to make the top 50. Like, this man had to have raw dogged one of the list makers, cause ain't no way. So overall, the top 5 YouTube boxers were spot on, except for Ty and KSI and Jake Paul, and then the bottom 5 just seemed like they put everyone's name on a wheel and just spun it to see who gets a spot. I mean, after seeing that list, I might have to make my own updated one. Comment down below what your top 10 pound for pound YouTube boxers list will look like, and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss future videos.
I'm the greatest ever has been, greatest ever will be.